Hello, welcome to our class. So I am Engineer Janice Hipospos, your instructor for this subject, Engineering Management. So first of all, how are you today? I hope you are all doing well. So together, let us learn as one. And thank you for your interest to continue learning. Thank you for enrolling in this subject. And let's continue to um, reach our dreams, our goals in life by studying hard and doing the assessments that I am going to discuss later and even reflected in your modules. So let's start. So this subject is engineering management, and I'm going to discuss the outline and also of course, the week one topic. So for the week one, I'm going to discuss about the field of engineering management. Then for the week two, the decision making, week three, planning, week four, staffing, and so on until we finish this subject. So, nakakakuha na ba tanan og modules? I mean, learning material. So, even though you are not synchronously connected to me through online, you can still view this asynchronously through our Google Classroom if you have the account, if you have already joined our classroom. And you can also view it in my YouTube channel, such as search Jangineer. That's my account. So I'm going to, this will be uploaded, of course. So uh, by all means, let us continue to learn. So for the grading system, I'll just reiterate to you. Uh, this is reflected to your learning module, learning material as well. So please be guided that the student's output is 60% and the term exam is 40%. The student's output is composed of your quiz that's in your assessment. So the quiz is 35%, the assignment or your research activity is 30%, and the case study is 35%. So it's a total of 100%. That constitutes to your output. So for the term exam, that that is composed of the midterm and the final. So 40% of that, a total of 100%. So kaya na to ni, I hope nga dili lang mo mag salig because IP so in progress ang inyong grado, but no, na naman ta dire, so maningkamot ta para at the end of the semester na pasa na grado nga mapasa si mo. Okay? Sige. So okay, so for the week one, our topic is the field of engineering management. So the learning outcomes are the following. So you need to identify variety of tasks. So describe the function of the engineer on different areas. So in this subject, you're going to be immersed or somehow, no? So, or you're going to assume na, engineer na ko. So you need to classify engineering organizations according to the degree of jobs performed, define management and engineering management, explain and generalize the process of engineering management, and enumerate the requirements for the engineer manager's job. So, uh, whether you are a civil engineering student, so mahimo mong civil engineer pohon. If you are an ECE student, so mahimo mong ECE pohon. This one, if you are going to if you want to be an engineer manager, so pwede jud pod gihapon. May you be a civil engineer or an electronics engineer or an ABI engineer. Okay, so what you can see in the picture, so you have seen stone-bladed axe, pyramids of Egypt, and roads by Romans. These tools, equipment, and projects were developed by engineers in the previous years. So, history tayo. Muna, a brief histories of how engineers were recognized in this today or even before. So, uh, di ba, gagamit man ta aning axe or sa Bisaya, hatcha. So, ang gabuhat dayan sa una is engineer. It's just that sa una, dili pa jud siya ma-recognize nga engineer ang word, but it comes into place um, eventually. So, that's one of your assignment. Who coined the word engineer. Okay, so aside aning hatcha, napod ning pyramids of Egypt, di ba? This is one of the most iconic, most wonderful creation that a laborious one, pero nahimo sa mga previous na mga sa mga tao sa una. Dugay ni siya nahuman, but as they work together, na-form nila, and look at the architectural work, di ba? Sa una pa, na-form na nila, how much karon. So, but this is very strong. I mean, kuan kani siya, kung sa ano paligon kaayo, compare sa mga uban na dali lang madaot. So, aside ana is napod tayo roads developed by Romans. Okay, so these roads are mainly composed of stones, then gihaluan nila ng parang cement-like to make it strong para mao ilang paved way, mao ilang dalan. So, karon na naman tayo mga highways made of concrete roads. So, sa una, ingani pod ang ilaha. Di ba? For me it is more amazing because how laborious the work is, how kana bitong the resources. So karon daghan na tag machine, pero sila sa una is puro lang jud manual kaning kung unsa lay available. Okay, so that's how recognizable engineers even before. So if you become an engineer, pohon, no? So these are your functions. These are our functions. So appeal lang mo sa club. Welcome to the club na pohon nila ma'am and sir engineer. So it's na if you are civil engineer, dili lang jud ka sa civil nga field, sa construction nga field. If you are an electronics engineer, di lang pud ka sa electronics nga field. Daghan kag pwede nga atuan nga field para mag-work o para mag-venture o mga new knowledge. So first is research. As early as now, di ba, as student as you are now, you are having a research subject. So much as more if you become an engineer. Pwede na, you can enhance that. Your learning in research, your skills in research, you can enhance that so that even if you work, mas daghan kang mabuhat na research as mas makadiscover pa kag things, diba? Then eventually you can invent and then you can change the world. Alright? So research is the process of learning about the nature and codifying this knowledge into usable theories. So diba, you identify a problem and then you propose a solution and then eventually you are going to apply that. So diba, amazing kaayo. Then you can also venture in the design and development. So that's turning a product concept to a finished physical item. So after your research example, so example, kadtong among hand washing station, if nakaadto mag-engineering. So at first, it was just a research. So identified a problem because of this pandemic, no? What can we contribute as an engineer to mitigate or to answer one of the needs in this pandemic? So the government has called or campaigned for frequent hand washing. So as an engineer, we conceptualize non-contact detection of a hand washing station. That's why we developed that automated hand washing station. So from that research, siyang gi-develop, mas kuan ang design. That's why it turned into a physical item na nandiyan to siyang hand washing station. If makita nito sa engineering. So diba? So that's design and development. Also in testing, so new products or parts are tested for workability. So example pag kadto, syempre dili to na mo siya ma-implement or after turning that into a physical item, we need to test it. Basic dito lang po siya ko to, but eventually it works. So until now, ginagamit siya dito sa engineering. Then, next is manufacturing. That's production personnel or assumes responsibility for the product. So, kung i-set po na gihapon to ng example, so puhon-puhon, kung Dagan namig resources, especially financially, we have supports. Pwede dito na mo in mass production, so manufacture namig dagan at and we will deploy that to different places. So, di ba? That's even in a simple ways or simple concept nimo, if that will be realized, that will have big impact. Okay? So next is a construction. So diri mas ma-fall or diri mas makarelate ang mga civil engineering students or ang civil engineers nato pohon. So you have the responsibility for the quality construction process. Remember ha? Quality. Okay? When you say quality, just like before, to akong example tong Pyramid of Egypt, di ba? It's built with quality. It was built with quality kay even though dugay siya na human, pero grabe siya kalidad because until now gastan pa siya, walay daot, kun naaman gayud mga erosion lang gamay sa mga bricks nga gipang form. But unlike today nga atong mga example sa mga road nga bago pa lang gibuhat na medyo bangag-bangag o na sa pawad na sabno, pero anyway, that's not our concern anymore. So that's just my challenge or let's ato ni siyang isa puso ba, no nga if you will be assigned in the construction field, you must you must have the responsibility for the quality construction process. Okay? So next is a consulting. So any individual requiring one services or work as a consultant. So kini siya is pwede ka mag-consulting services labi na you're in the like 40s or 50s kana bitang retiring age na, so mapahimus man jud gihapon nato ang atong pagka-engineer ana kay labi na if we are in the 20s to 30s, we're working hard, so muna nata sa construction firm or nata sa mga manufacturing firm, but when time comes that parang nandata sa settling age, we can still use our license, of course, and we can still earn. Yeah. So that's through consulting services. So you work as a consultant. Example, na-i-build nga kuan tower or sa ECE kung na-i-build nga tower. So because established na imong name, you have made a name of yourself. Maingon na nga kaning dito ta kang engineer Janice kay kuan to siya ing ana. So magpa-consult sila sa imo, and with that comes a fee, di ba? So pwede mo siya i-libre labi nagkaila na, but of course you are rendering professional services, so that comes with a fee. So mana siyang ubang that's the reality of life pa kung sa then if you are a civil engineer, so na mga buildings nga ipang construct, so you as having your name na lagi, so pwede nga dito ta kang engineer kaan kay kaning maayo to siya mo ni yang mga build nga mga kuan na mga establishment, so labi na nindot og mga feedback, so ikaw jud ang pangitaon, diba? So that's another challenge for you. You need to establish your name, make a good name para mas di lang kailhan because you are an engineer, but you are known for your good deeds, for your quality works, and for the good feedback from other people that they said sa imo. Okay? So next is a sales. So this is applicable if you are a sales engineer. Example, sa car company. So you assist the company's customers to meet their needs. So you're not necessarily the one nga, example sa car company, no, you're not necessarily the one nga palit mo sir na. No, that's the work of sales manager or mga sales kaning mga tendera. So ikaw as sales engineer, so you will just supervise them, di ba? Dihay ra ka igora ka matindog nga na ra. How is it working, guys? Charot. So inana lang siya, no? So we'll just assist the company's customers to meet their needs, especially in the engineering aspect. So, mo po na siya. Mas applicable there if you are a mechanical engineer. So, kaya diba, atong mga car, mag-hire ka tag mechanic because of the machine na nga ginagamit sa atong mga car. So, mo na siya nga. If you are a sales engineer pohon, so, syempre, sa engineering aspect lang po ka. The next is, of course, the government. So, performing any of the various tasks in regulating, monitoring, and controlling the activities of various institutions, public or private. So, example, Ana, is kanang mga engineer nato nga nasa mga government like LGU. So, we have MPDO, the municipal planning. Most of them are engineers. So, muna sila. And even kami nga as ASSCAT because ASSCAT is a government-controlled institution. So, na yung mga engineer gihapon. So, and we need to perform tasks that they assign to us. Okay, so, yeah, teaching. So, example na dyan mi no. Si ma'am engineer o sila sir engineer. So, employment in a school and is assigned as a teacher of engineering courses. So, best example na dyan ko, wala na ilain. And sila sir engineer, no? So, na-assign me as, though engineer me, but we teach. Okay, so sa academy nga field, we chose the academy. So, we are assigned engineering courses as well. So, of course, mga engineering major jud ta kay lisod pod magpadlo mig mga GE courses. So, dili na pod na siya na mo scope. So, yun. Then, lastly is management. So, excuse me, we are assigned to manage groups of people performing specific tasks. So, there na mo fall ang engineer, manager. So, mostly of that is kana nada-apply sa company, kana mga manufacturing firm or sales firms, ay ana siya. So, you will become an engineer manager. So, mo to siya, tindog ang ka, but not necessarily tindog lang ha. You need to plan, you need to decide, o maudyo na siya ang atong pagkahisgutan in the next week na mga topic. So, sorry, this is letter E. So, the engineers various types of organization. So, natay level 1, level 2 of level 3. So, level 1 is kung imong work is minimal engineering jobs like retailing firms, you are an engineer pero pang level 1 lang ka. No? So, if we want to level up, so adto ka sa level 2, that's moderate degree of engineering jobs like transportation companies. So, mato ka example like car companies, may bisag unsa nga mga brand. Okay? So, kanang kung diha ka nga mga jobs is pang level 2 na lang ka. Now, if gusto pa jud ka nga mo taas of I want to be at the level 3 nga kuan pedestal. So, you have high degree of engineering jobs like construction firms. So, example na construction firm sa kay basig bias lang jud sa civil engineer no. So, kana siya if you are working in the construction firm. So, labi na nga ang imong position is you are the overall or the supervising engineer. So, level 3 na imong level 3 categorized ka as an engineer. So, challenge po na sa inyo pohon. If you are going to work, if manarbaho na mo, so, asa ka ko. Of course, mag-start man dito sa 1. Diba? So, ayaw po mo ka kuan kung like, dapat level 3 lang ko. No, we all start sa 1. Then, pwede mag-skip dahil sa 2, pero mas nindot po gihapon, sundon man gihapon nga from 1, 2 to 3 because daghan jud kag ma-learn eventually. So, what is engineering management? Basa man niyo sa inyong module, no? So, engineering management refers to the activity combining technical knowledge with the ability to organize and coordinate worker power, materials, machinery, and money. So, an engineer manager is presumed to be technically competent. So, take note ha, technically competent. Why technically competent? Because as an engineer, we are expected na technical person jud ta. no? In his specialization, especially in management. So, kay nag-refer man ta sa engineering management and you are called as an engineer manager. So, mo to, ang imong gipili nga function is katong pinaka-last of imong the management. So, mo na dapat imo specialization. Now, what is management? So, management is defined as the creative problem-solving process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling an organization's resources to achieve its mission and objectives. So, kining planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, mo na itong ma-discuss pohon in the next topics. Okay, so, an engineer manager is presumed to be technically competent in his specialization, especially in management again. So these are the process of management. Okay, so first is you need to seek to find out the objectives of the organization. Then after that, you think of ways on how to achieve them. Decide on the ways to be adopted and the materials to be used. Determine the human requirements of the total job. Assign specific tasks to specific persons. Motivate them and provide means to make sure that the activities are in the right direction. So, um, even sa inyong student life karon, ma-apply jud nimo siya ang management. Right? Diba? Time management, money management, love life management, right? Family. So for example, seek to find out the objectives of the organization. So uh, example Anna is if you are going to join an organization like EISS or SSG, tapos may mga objectives Anna. So dapat before entering into that, kabalo ka unsay tumong ana kay basig for bad ano day na ilahang kuan organization, so ngano mo join pa man ka, diba? So example sa or let's not just um, generalize it na sa organization. Ang ako lang yung katang example sa inyo is sa inyong daily life. So what are your objectives in life? Sige. So sige daw, nauna daw mo be. So example, ako, I want to be an engineer, especially an electronics engineer. That's when I was still a student. Diba? So, okay. So, ito siya. Ang example is my objectives in one of my objectives in life is, of course, to become an electronics engineer. So, katong estudyante pa ko. So, that is the first step. So, what is my objectives in life? What are my objectives in life? So, pag na kayo na-identify, ana, so example na ito, I want to be an engineer. So, next is, you need to think of ways on how to achieve them. So, sa una ko, what are the ways or what am I going to do para mahimo kong engineer? So, di ba, maglista ka, dapat I'm going to study hard, of course. I need to pass all my subjects. Then, I need to graduate in time kung pwede. Pero okay na pag dili, no? Then after that, I'm going to review, no? So, I'm going to enroll in a review class. Then after that, I'm going to take the board exam. And of course, I need to pass it so that I will become a licensed engineer. So, di ba? Gamay ra dahil 5 steps lang, pero dili siya sayon. I tell you. Then, decide on the ways to be adapted and the materials to be used. So, example lang, padayon na nako ito nga example. So, for this, decide on the ways to be adapted and the materials to be used. So, what are the materials or the resources that refers to the resources that you are going to use in order to achieve those ways. So, of course, no, there's step 1, I need to pass all my subjects. So, at this time, kailangan tag-resources online, so internet, para maka-research, para maka-participate kang ma'am o kang sir, maka-answer sa mga problems. Okay, so then, so ma-achieve nimo tong, you need to pass all your subject. The next, you need to graduate. So, na, appeal na siya, resources nimo, all resources, of course, financial. That's the first, no? Then you need to enroll in review class. Of course, another financial na resources dapat because mag-enroll ka, may bayro nun, mag-food pa ka, lodging pa ka, then napay mga miscellaneous nga pagagastuhan. Then, mag-take ka of board exam. So, again, financial, no? Kay, financial og pangutok, of course. So, kailangan nimo og pambayad sa PRC, kay naman na siya bayad, no? Na siya fee. And then, of course, after that, kung mapasar na tanan, then you become a licensed engineer. So, pag pa-license po di mo na, gyapon na ibayad. So, ang major lang dyan nga resources nato is the financial, no? But of course, including yourself with your knowledge. So, determine the human requirements of the total job. So, dira nahulog tong pangutok na to. Atong ka-bright diha. So, human requirements. So, again, kung diri is physical requirements for resources. Example, ang financial. So, diri apod is the human, ang atong pangutok. Then, assign specific tasks to specific person. So, kini, di na ito ma-example ang atong board, ang atong pagiging engineer. Pero, this applies to an organization. So, pero, kung isulod na ko itong sa atong pagiging engineer, pwede gihapon. So, assign kag specific task. Example, si mama nimo is your inspiration, diba? Si girlfriend or boyfriend is your second inspiration. Sila ang mag-motivate sa imuha at times nga weak ka or you're down. Then si God, of course, is your source of everything. Na siya. So, you need to assign specific tasks. Specific dyan na siya, ha? So, kung ikaw ang boss sa inyong balay, okay, manghod, ikaw tinghugas per me, kay di na ako manghugas, di na ako magluto because na ako'y online class. Ano siya. Dili ko ni mo surang-surangon, kay kailangan ako ni ipasar. Diba? Kay that's your objective one. Example lang, ha? Then, motivate them. So, this applies if you are handling colleagues. You need to motivate your people. So, example, ako, I'm your teacher. So, mahulog jud gihapon ko nga manager, engineer manager, because I am handling you, diba? So, example, you are my workers. So, you are my colleagues. So, I need to motivate you. And this is what I am doing now. I hope na motivate mo, no? Sa akong mga gipang storya na laban lang dyan taane. We learn as one in this new normal setting sa atong kaning pag-eskwela. So, dili lang kay kami ang mag-motivate sa inyo. Pwede dyan po gihapon na that you will motivate us, no? It's a vice versa nga process. So, your teacher motivates you, but the student can also motivate the teacher na, ma'am, okay ra na, ma'am, laban ng taan. So, your words are, kuan po na siya, makadulot po na sa mo, makaingon po niya, wow, thank you, can appreciate me na. Sana all. No, so, not just us, but you can also motivate your other classmates. No, kay basin mo na daghan ra bag issues karon nga naay mga ma-depress or the anxiety kay labi na sa online class ma-pressure. So, kung na mo yung mga nabalaan nga ana, so you as a human being, bisan pag mayon ka nga dili man ko capable to motivate them kay I don't know how to manage stress or anxiety. Bisag a simple words na nga, hey, you can do that. Laban lang. I mean, whatever circumstances we are right now, there is one God that we believe that who can supply all our needs and who will help us sa tanan nato nga panginahanglanon. So, kana lang mga simple words, makaano na sa ilaha. Okay? Then, provide means to make sure that the activities are in the right direction. So, kini, para example ako, I am handling you. So, provide means that nadyo ta sa right direction. So, through this, mo na siya isa ni natay Google Classroom. First is gi-print na to itong learning material. Kung man mo kakuha, so natay soft copy, the digitized one. And this one, the recording. So I'm recording this, I'm uploading it in the YouTube. So tanan, by all means, para lang jud maato ta sa isa ka direction, and that is to finish this subject nga somehow or unta jud masabtan pa ninyo kay instead of the independent learning lang kamo lang na mag-study, which I know is very difficult. Okay, so pasensya sa akong PowerPoint na medyo na kuan siya, no? So these are the requirements for the engineer manager's job. So you need to have bachelor's degree in engineering from a reputable school. So palagi na kung mahuman na kag civil engineering or electronics engineering. So graduate na ka, you now have bachelor's degree. Then from a reputable school. So reputable school ba ta? Of course, di ba? Ako, I'm a product of ASSCAT and I'm proud of it. So I hope na puhon ka mo po na proud ASSCAT yan. Okay? Puhon may mo tang university. Next is a few years experience. So, kailangan po na ka-experience. Di kay fresh graduate pa, apply na ka as an engineer manager. So, or you need to take trainings or seminars. Depende na. Like this, training and supervision. So, don't worry, dagan mo pwede makaanan ng mga seminars na yan. Special training in engineering management. So, dapat focus lang dyan sa engineering management ito nga training kay para pasok ka sa banga mahimo engineer managers. Okay, so how one may become a successful engineer manager? So according to Krippner, there are at least 3 general preconditions for achieving lasting success as a manager. So first is your ability, the effectiveness, and your efficiency. So remember, lahi ang meaning sa effective, lahi po ng efficient. Okay, you can be an effective person, but you can also be a not efficient, an inefficient person. So, pwede nga isa lang imuha ani, effective lang ka pero dili efficient. Pwede pud nga efficient ka pero dili ka effective. Or mas maayo jud nga both. Okay, so unsa day ang effectiveness? According to Higgins, it refers to a description of whether objects are accomplished. So, when your objectives are accomplished, makaingon ka, effective kay ko, mapagkatao. So, example, karon sa inyong pagka-student life, na-accomplish ninyo ning mga learning materials ninyo, mga assessments. So, with that, maka-assess mo at the end of the semester nga, I am an effective person. I am an effective student. So puhon if I'll be kanang manarbaho ko, I will be an effective engineer. Diba? So mas maayo na nga as early as now i-practice na ninyo kay para puhon maanad na mo nga dapat ingani akong drive for me. I need to accomplish the task given to me. Puhon pagtrabaho ninyo dili na dayon na siya lisod. So kung aside sa inyo kaya ninyo na i-accomplish because you have that spirit bitaw or the drive na I want to be an effective person. Not just sa studies, not just sa kuan, but in everything. Hello everything. No? So efficiency, it's a description of the relative amount of resources used in obtaining effectiveness. So diba, si effectiveness refers to the work accomplished. Si efficiency is the relative amount or kumbaga, it's on how you use the resources for you to achieve those objectives. So example gihapon sa inyo na lang sa pag-eskwela because nganong gina-example na ko na because you today as a student is pwede nimo na siya mimong analogy or you can liken it sa engineer manager nga job. Okay? So, muna mo to, diba? Inyong task is to accomplish all the learning material ng mga assessment. Then, so with that, you became effective. So, when we say efficient ka, nagamit ni mong tarong ang imong resources. Okay? So, what are those? So, bisan pag example, bisan pagkakalisod ko free data lang ko or nalang ko'y data gamay, igamit ko ni wisely para maka-participate ko or maka-view ko sa online classes, bisag asynchronous lang, or maka-download ko sa learning material, or bisag maka-participate lang ko sa group chat. So, na-manage nimo ang imong resources wisely, na unya naging resourceful pud ka somehow. So with that, you become an efficient person, no? Dili bikaw aside anang gi-provided na kag resources pud niya, wa nimo na manage of tarong, then that becomes you as an inefficient person. So wala siya ha, mag-uban na ni siya. So si efficiency is kanang keyword ani is managing your resources well for you to achieve the objectives para mahimo kang effective person. So example, if a civil engineer was asked by his superiors to finish a 100-kilometer road cementing project within 8 months, he is said to be effective if he finished the job within the required period. So, di ba? Na siya'y need nga, na siya'y objective nga within 8 months ma-accomplish niya. Pag nahimo daw niya, so he is said to be effective. On the other hand, his efficiency is measured by the inputs, so muna siya, the resources, labor, and materials he poured into the project in relation to the actual output. That's the 100-kilometer road. If the same output is made with less inputs, the more efficient the civil engineer becomes. So, may siya sa imong pagka-efficient pod. So, more efficient daw ka nga civil engineer kung mas less imong input nga na gamit para ma-accomplish tong objective nimo nga mahuman to siyang 100-kilometer road cement project within 8 months. So, di ba? Nakita ninyo ang kalahian. Questions? If you have, just drop it in the comment box or pwede sa atong Google Classroom. Okay? Of course, so mo to siya, ingon si Kritner na 3 general preconditions for achieving lasting success as a manager. So second is motivation to manage. And so itong first, ability. Then the second is motivation to manage. That is motivating the people so that they may contribute to the realization of the organization's objectives. So the keyword is motivation. So di ba? As early as now, kabalo na ta kung sa motivation. So, kung ma-apply na nato karon bisag sa atong self, I motivate myself. I can do this. Kaya ko ni. And how much more? Kung may mo na kang engineer manager, mag-work na ka. So, parang natural na lang na sa imuha ng motivation nga concept. So, a manager and management researcher, John B. Miner, develop a psychometric instrument to measure objectively an individual's motivation to manage. So, the test is anchored by the following dimensions. So, example ni how to measure daw the motivation to manage sa isa ka tao. So, pwede po din na siya i-measure, no? So, first is your favorable attitude toward those in position of authority. So, dapat how to show na motivated ka, dapat favorable or sincere or maayo imong attitude towards those in position. Example, na you will be employed in a construction firm. So, naakay head engineer, naakay senior engineer, and you are just the junior engineer kasi bago ka pa. Diba? So, kung ingon imong head engineer na, okay, you, engineer Janice, you do this. You go to the field and report to me at the end of the day. Tapos ikaw kay, ano na dayon, dabog-dabog na din ko. Oh, sir! Ano ako man, sir, nga pwede man sikuan. Ano dayon. So, that's not a favorable attitude. So, for you to show nga motivated ka to manage, kasi nga mo ato kag field, diba? So, you need to manage the kato mga laborers danto, nga example, ito ka sa mga nagimog dalan, construct of highways. Sir, di ko dito kay mainitan ko, tapos samo kayo mga tao, kay kuan, mangayo dayog ka siya advance. Ano ito? So, you're not motivated to manage. So, dapat favorable imong attitude towards those in position of authority. Or basig mo ka, so man si sir, nga sige na magpanugo, or kaya, iya man ang trabaho, manong ako man yung pabuhaton. No. You must not show that. Okay? Kung naman galing mo nga thoughts, i-remain na lang na sa inyong huna-huna. Okay? The next is desire to engage in games or sports competition with peers. In short, you need to be socially active. Okay. We are working naman. Example of that is ako. Sa una, before, introvert jud ko. As in, I'm not engaging into sports. Na lang ko nabalan, like table tennis, but I'm not really good at it. Pero, I'm not that type na kuan nga excuse me. Okay, so what siya kining na-learn eventually if you're going to work na, especially if you become an engineer manager, you need to go out of the box. Yeah, that's the right term. So wala na tong wala ko na nimo ng kuan nga I am just ing-anin ako. So dapat I'll just stay in my comfort zone ana. So eventually you need to develop your social status. Dapat maging active ka, maybe in games or sports. Labi na most of the companies, they will held family day or team building. So, ikaw as the manager, of course, you need to lead your team, right? So, how? So, ikaw dapat ang mag-lead. Okay? So, muna na kaning dapat for you to be to show that you are motivated to manage, dapat you have that desire to engage in games with peers. So, when you say with peers, with your kapwa empleyado, kapwa mga engineers or mga kanang even those kato na sa lower position. Okay, so challenge na siya ha. As for me, yeah, I accomplished that. I mean, I overcome that pala. Sa una, before, I'm not into sports, but I learned one para makapagpad ko, socialize, and then I can show to them that I can also. Okay, so, dili necessary nga, you're very good at it, basta kabalo lang ka. Next is desire to engage in occupational or work-related competition with peers. So, work-related competition also. Kung dili man sa sports, kining work-related competition or occupational. So, kunay, that applies to companies pod nga na yung mga ingana nga activities. So, dapat, again, don't just stay in your comfort zone, but think of going out of the box para ma-explore pa dyan nimo what the world has to offer. Diba? Desire to assert oneself and take charge. So, when you say assert oneself, ikaw mismo motivated ka. You can motivate yourself that I can do this. You have that positive mind. You're just you affirm yourself, and then with that, you can take charge. You can lead. And okay, how are you going to motivate others if you yourself is not motivated? Diba? Think. Desire to exercise power and authority over others. So, exercise power and authority. Because you're a manager, dapat authoritative ka, right? But don't overuse it, okay? Just because you are in the position, imo na pod ng pasubraan. Ang ingon nun diri is exercise your power and authority. That means ipakita nimo that you're the leader. I mean, you're the engineer manager. You are the in charge. Kasi some of other people, they don't have that. Natod sila sa taas na posisyon, but they don't have that authoritativeness. The implication of that is, magsugo sila, example nga, pwede magkuan ka ani, or ang worst pa dyan na is, maulaw, magsugo. So, ang mahulog, ikaw na lang noon magbuhatanan. Which is, dapat, i-delegate po nimo ang job. Delegate nimo ang functions of specific task. With that, narong naka sa imong pagka-manager, kaya man nimo na manager parang. So, yan. Then, desire to behave in a distinctive way. So, again, ma-apply itong na nga, di ka magpalabi. Because, basig sobra na po ka socially active nga, hey, nadulat na. Bisag teamwork, manghangad. So, you need to behave in a distinctive way. I mean, kanang, sakto lang. Ano dito? Kung unsay i-require, mo pa ihatag. Di nga, pasulabian. Okay? So, sense of responsibility in carrying out the routine duties associated with managerial work. So, mo siya ang pinaka important, the sense of responsibility in carrying out na ma-accomplish jud ang job. So, with that ang pag-measure sa imong motivation to manage is grabe jud ka plus points if you have this. So, again, just read this again para mas ma-capture ninyo kung unsa di ay ang measurement na mahimo kang motivated to manage. Then, sa tuingon na itulo. So, the third is, opportunity. Successful managers become, oh my God, become possible only if those having the ability and motivation are given the opportunity to manage. Of course, if you have not given the opportunity, then ayaw. Ayaw mo lagi, don't overlap or ayaw pasulabi imong attitude or I mean imong behavior. So you behave in a distinctive way. If you are given the opportunity to manage, then use it wisely. The opportunity for successful management, another wrong, has two requirements. So that's obtaining a suitable managerial job and finding a supportive climate once on the job. Okay, take note of that. All right, so that's it for this day. These are my review quiz. So that's it. We are now down to our quiz 1, the review and discussion. So in a one whole sheet of paper, write your answer in the following questions and please express your own thoughts. Your own thoughts, ha? I'm not encouraging you to just copy sa inyong classmates. Yes, sharing is good. I mean, sharing of information. I mean, of ideas pala. But when you say sharing of answers, I'm not encouraging it. That's why you need to express your own thoughts. Okay? I can identify if inyo lang dyan na siyang kopya. No? So, that's why I'm encouraging you to express your own thoughts. Okay? Para mas personal ang approach o mas makita nako if you really understand our subject. Okay, so first, why are engineers considered an important segment of the society? O, diba? So, mura lang siya Q&A sa Miss Universe. Next is, what are expected of engineers in general? In what current concerns are engineering outputs needed? In what areas are engineers currently involved? So, next is, how many organizations be classified according to the engineering jobs performed? So, kung i-review lang ninyo ang atong na-discuss gaina, ma-answeran na ninyo. But of course, you need to explain it more using your own thoughts again. So, which organization level requires the highest management skills for engineer managers? How may one define management? What qualifications must an engineer manager have? And how may one become a successful engineer manager? Okay? So, if kulang ang one whole sheet of paper, then you can add additional paper. And of course, write your name dyan. Okay? You can submit it online through our Google Classroom or kung medyo you can PM me dili sa atong group chat kay makabasa yung classmate. Or if ma-implement ng atong hatid aral is na Dropbox na ginabutang sa inyong munisipyo. Just put your answers there. Don't forget to write your name, the subject, and the instructor. Okay, kung wala instructor, kinsa may mupuntan na daghan ra ba mong subjects. Okay? So, for the assignment and research activity 1, first is prepare a list of 10 engineers who became president or general manager of a large company. Okay, so list of 10. So, enumerate mo. Example ko isa. No? So, example, si our previous president, si Sir Warlito Garcine. So, he is an engineer. Diba? So, he became a president sa atong school. So, that is considered as a large company. Alright? So, isa pa. Daghan pa. Okay? So, daghan tang mga company. Example na lang ko, ang San Miguel Company, kana siya, the Philippine Airlines. So, most of the general manager or the president of that large companies is an engineer. Diba? So, very inspirational. So, I hope nga, daghan mo ma-research na lahi-lahi. Di kay pareha lang mo, no? Then, second is take a screenshot or cut a section in newspaper or magazine or any printed material of a typical advertisement for a pure engineering job without management responsibilities. So, kani siya is kanang pure advertisement lang siya nga. Hiring, engineer 1. Ano lang. Walay management responsibilities nga. Anong, who can visit, who is, willing to be assigned in other areas. And wala lang sana yung pure engineering job lang. Hiring, engineer 1. Example lang na. Then another is take a screenshot or cut a section newspaper for an engineer manager as a lower level executive or supervisor. So, ano siya, mangita mo og advertisement gihapon nga kani ang ginapangita. Engineer manager nga supervisor. Okay, so naman po siguro na sa online. Daghan na ninyo makuha. Next is again, take a screenshot or cut a section newspaper for the middle naman, middle level. So, kaya na-discuss na itong level 1, 2, 3. So, na dito mga example kung asa ga-work na sila. Then, for this one is sa top level naman. And then, sa last is typical advertisement for an engineer manager. So, mostly mga advertisement is for an engineer 1 or civil engineer and ana. Karon, sa pinaka-last is you are going to find an advertisement sorry for that interruption. So, wala na ako na-mute akong phone while recording and sorry po, mag-sorry na lang po ko no if there are other noises. It's really hard to record na lang sa closed space. Actually, I'm recording sa room sa akong kuya because diri kusog ang wifi. And then, I'm sure madungog inyo you can hear noises from the environment just like mga bata, mga sakyanan. So, I hope na mas na-capture ninyo ang akong gipastorya kaysa sa mga gipastorya sa palibot, no? Pasensya. So, i-improve pa na ako niya akong video. For now, nag-record lang sa jud ko para na mo yung makita, no? Okay. It's been like 1 week na ba after the opening of class. Okay, para mas move forward na dyan po ta sa sunod. Okay? So, mo siya, last advertisement is for the engineer manager. Kana yung specific nga nagyan nga. Hiring, engineer manager. Kana dyan ang heading. So, that's the challenge. Now, for the next is your case study 1. So, naaman dito sa inyong learning material, the case study 1 og ang template. Okay? So, that's Alma Electronics, I'll Dream of You. So, ano na, islat dire na dito na sa inyong learning material. So, you need to analyze. You need to submit a case analysis. Okay? So, these are the references of my subject. Pwede nyo na kung ano. So, this is my YouTube channel, no? I'm encouraging you to, of course, subscribe. Pero if dili, just like the video. Okay, so, or you may just, you don't need to type this link, https task.io. Just look for Janjinier sa YouTube then. Na dito, ma-upload ko na siya ng video. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you guys. Thank you students for your time. Okay, so sorry, medyo pangit po ang camera sa akong laptop. I'll just improve it next time. So, thank you very much for your time and may you have a good day.